In Hollywood, every mansion carries whispers of stories untold. Behind the glossy gates and shining marble hallways, many of these estates hold secrets that refuse to stay buried. For most, those secrets manifest as tales of wealth, excess, and heartbreak. But sometimes, they manifest as something else, something darker. For Kendall Jenner, one of the most recognizable faces of the Kardashian-Jenner dynasty, her story goes beyond fashion runways and glossy magazine covers. It is a chilling tale of shadows, whispers, and a ghostly encounter that left her questioning the very nature of reality. Kendall Jenner may be a global superstar, gracing covers of Vogue, headlining runways for the world's biggest designers, and starring on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Yet when she shared her eerie experiences inside her own Hollywood home, the world leaned in. Because if someone like Kendall, surrounded by luxury and fame, isn't safe from the supernatural, then who is? This is the unsettling story of Kendall Jenner's haunted house, and how Hollywood's glamorous hills are built on layers of forgotten tragedies, restless spirits, and celebrity encounters with the unknown. Kendall's first brush with the supernatural began not with a dramatic apparition, but with small, unsettling signs. Strange noises at night, the sensation of being watched, doors opening and closing without explanation. At first, she did what anyone raised in a high-energy, skeptical household might do, shrug it off. Maybe the house was settling. Maybe the wind pushed the door. Maybe the lights flickered because of faulty wiring. But deep down, she felt the kind of cold, unshakable dread that doesn't come from faulty bulbs. Kendall later admitted in interviews that she believed her house was haunted. She described hearing footsteps when no one else was home, lights switching on and off by themselves, and objects moving inexplicably. For a star who has built her career on discipline, composure, and elegance, these were not easy admissions to make. The mansion, like many in Los Angeles, carried history in its bones. Built decades earlier, it had passed through several owners before landing in the Jenner family's portfolio. Houses in Hollywood often come with unspoken baggage, suicides, financial ruin, mysterious accidents. Few buyers want those details in the paperwork, but they linger like stains no realtor can bleach away. For Kendall, those stains would soon bleed through in ways she couldn't ignore. Perhaps the most chilling moment of Kendall's haunting began late one night. Alone in her bedroom, she lay in the dark, scrolling her phone as so many of us do, when she heard it, a faint sound. At first, she thought it was a TV left on in another room. But when she muted her phone, the noise grew clearer. It was a woman's cry, not muffled by distance, not distorted by walls, but heartbreakingly clear, as though someone stood just beyond her door, sobbing. The sound grew louder, closer, more anguished. Kendall's pulse quickened as she sat upright in bed, straining to hear. Her rational mind scrambled for explanations. Maybe Kylie had come home early, maybe a guest was upset, maybe she was imagining it. But as she reached for the doorknob, she realized something bone-chilling. The house was empty. She was completely alone. When she opened the door, the crying stopped instantly. The hallway was silent, stretching into shadow. No one there. No movement. No explanation. Just silence, and the undeniable sense that someone, or something, had been waiting for her. This moment would mark a turning point for Kendall. No longer could she dismiss the sounds and shadows as quirks of an old house. Something was inside her home. Something she couldn't explain away. Skeptics often dismiss ghost stories as tricks of the imagination. Stress, isolation, or fatigue can blur the line between perception and reality. But Kendall wasn't alone in her experiences. On more than one occasion, she and her younger sister Kylie reported hearing footsteps upstairs when no one else was home. The sound of pacing, of someone moving deliberately enough to suggest presence, not random house creaks. One night, the sisters heard those footsteps together. Gathering her courage, Kendall ventured upstairs, determined to prove to herself there was nothing there. But what she found, or thought she saw, only deepened the mystery. At the far end of the hallway, for the briefest of seconds, she glimpsed a figure. Pale, blurred, feminine, watching, and then gone. Kylie's reaction confirmed Kendall's fear. She wasn't imagining it. It's one thing to doubt your own mind. It's another to have someone else hear, see, and feel the same unexplainable things. Whatever haunted that house wasn't confined to Kendall alone. Kendall Jenner's chilling encounter isn't just an isolated celebrity ghost story. Hollywood has long been a breeding ground for tales of haunted mansions, cursed hotels, and restless spirits. The very soil beneath Los Angeles is layered with histories that fuel these legends. The Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, for example, is infamous for being haunted by Marilyn Monroe, whose ghost has been spotted in mirrors and hallways. The Beverly Hills estate of Sharon Tate, where she experienced eerie visions before her brutal murder, is another example of Hollywood homes absorbing tragedy into their walls. Even Adele once claimed her West Sussex mansion was so haunted she hired a full-time security guard to keep watch at night. Hollywood is a land of bright lights built on dark stories. Stars live in luxury homes that may once have been crime scenes, places of heartbreak, or the settings of untimely deaths. It is not far-fetched to imagine that Kendall Jenner's home carried some forgotten sorrow etched into its walls. When Kendall shared her ghost story, the reactions were as polarized as you might expect. Some fans were quick to mock the idea. Of course a Kardashian has a ghost, some joked online, dismissing it as publicity. Others suggested it was stress, imagination, or even sleep paralysis. But a surprising number of people believed her. Many shared their own stories of haunted houses, of footsteps in the night, of unseen presences that left them shaken. Ghost enthusiasts, paranormal investigators, and horror fans dissected Kendall's account, noting its consistency with classic haunting phenomena, crying voices, shadow figures, and electrical disturbances. The fact that Kendall, a public figure with little to gain from admitting such a story, shared it so candidly gave it credibility. Unlike a movie promotion stunt or a Halloween gimmick, her account felt raw, unsettling, and deeply personal. There's an irony in Kendall Jenner's haunting. Many assume wealth can shield you from fear. After all, celebrities live in secure gated mansions, with staff and technology to keep them safe. But the supernatural does not discriminate between rich and poor, famous and unknown. In fact, the very luxury of Hollywood's estates often makes them more likely to be haunted. Many were built decades ago, on land with complicated histories. Some hosted wild parties where tragedy struck. Others were homes to stars whose lives ended suddenly, their energy lingering behind. The very walls are drenched in drama, heartbreak, and the echoes of those who walked before. For Kendall Jenner, the haunting was a reminder that no amount of fame can protect you from the mysteries that exist in the shadows. So, what exactly haunted Kendall Jenner's home? Was it the spirit of a former resident, a tragic echo of Hollywood's darker past? Was it the byproduct of stress, isolation, or suggestibility? Or was it something deeper, something tied to the city itself, a force that feeds on fame, sorrow, and attention? The truth is, we may never know. But Kendall's willingness to speak openly about her experiences ensures that her story will remain part of Hollywood's ghostly lore. And perhaps that's the scariest part. Because while movies, shows, and runways fade in and out of relevance, the memory of a voice crying in the night, the figure at the end of a hallway, the sense that you are not alone, those stay with you forever.